Let me ask you something. What are you doing with your time? No, really, stop and think about it. You got one shot at this thing called life. One. And some of you are out here moving like you got time to burn, like tomorrow is guaranteed. Let me tell you something. It's not. You've got dreams, right? Goals, things you want to accomplish, and why are you scrolling your life away on social media, binge watching shows, and sleeping on your potential? You say you want to be successful, but your actions don't match your words. Listen to me. You don't get another chance at this. Life isn't a video game where you can hit the reset button. Every day you waste is a day you'll never get back. While you're sitting there procrastinating, someone else is out there grinding, working, sacrificing, and chasing their dreams. And guess what? They're gonna pass you by. I'm not saying this to tear you down. I'm saying it because I care. Because I see the greatness in you, even if you don't see it in yourself yet. But you've got to wake up. You've got to stop making excuses and start making moves. You want to change your life? It starts right now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now. You've got to decide that enough is enough. You've got to be willing to do whatever it takes. That means putting in the work when you don't feel like it. That means saying no to distractions and yes to discipline. And don't tell me it's too hard. Don't tell me you don't have time. You've got the same 24 hours as everyone else. The difference is what you do with those hours. Are you spending them building your future? Try the best, the quality things possible. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone to come save you. Nobody's coming. It's on you. The only way to win is to put in the work, to take control, to take responsibility. Let me tell you this. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret, that'll haunt you for the rest of your life. Which one are you going to choose? So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep wasting your life, or are you going to step up and live the life you were meant to live? The choice is yours, but I'll tell you one thing. When you finally decide to give it everything you've got, there's nothing that can stop you. The clock is ticking. Your life is waiting. Stop wasting it. Time is your most valuable asset. Stop wasting it. Every second of every day, the clock is ticking, and once a moment is gone, it's gone forever. Unlike money, time is something you can never earn back. You can lose all the money in the world and with enough effort regain it. But time, once it's spent, is gone. This is why treating time like a precious commodity is one of the most important lessons you will ever learn. Yet so many people live as though they have unlimited time, moving through their days with no urgency, no purpose, and no awareness of just how fleeting life is. Think about how many hours you've already wasted in your life. Think about the times you've procrastinated, avoided the hard work, or let distractions pull you away from your goals. Maybe you spend hours scrolling through social media, watching endless videos, or overindulging in entertainment that does nothing to move your life forward. You told yourself it was just a little break, but those little breaks add up. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and before you know it, years have passed. Time doesn't stop for anyone, and it certainly doesn't slow down when you're not paying attention. What makes this even more critical is that we often have no idea how much time we actually have left. Nobody knows what tomorrow holds. You might think you've got years ahead to figure things out, to start pursuing your dreams, or to fix the mistakes you've made. But the reality is, your time could run out at any moment. Living like tomorrow is guaranteed is one of the most dangerous assumptions you can make. People often realize this too late, looking back at a life full of wasted opportunities and unrealized potential. Regret is one of the heaviest burdens to carry, and it almost always comes down to how time was spent. The choices you make with your time shape the quality of your life. If you spend your time wisely, building skills, creating opportunities, and working toward meaningful goals, the rewards can be incredible. But if you waste your time on things that don't matter, things that don't bring you closer to the person you want to become, you're essentially throwing away your future. Time wasted isn't just about lost minutes, it's about lost opportunities, lost growth, and lost potential. Every second you spent doing something meaningless is a second you could have invested in something life-changing. I'm talking about life-changing. It's not that you need to be productive every waking moment, but you do need to be intentional. Too often people confuse busyness with productivity. They fill their schedules with tasks that don't align with their true priorities, or spend their days reacting to others' demands instead of focusing on their own goals. Being intentional with your time means understanding what really matters to you and making sure your actions reflect those values. It means cutting out the distractions, saying no to things that don't serve you, and guarding your time like the priceless resource it is. The distractions in today's world make wasting time easier than ever. Social media, streaming platforms, endless notifications, all these things are designed to grab your attention and keep you hooked. Every time you give in, you're giving away pieces of your life so things don't really matter. The time you spend mindlessly scrolling or binge watching could be spent learning something new, building relationships, or working toward your dream. You might think it's harmless, but those wasted moments compound over time, leaving you further and further behind. Even more dangerous than distractions are excuses. How often do you tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, next week, or next year? How often do you convince yourself you're too tired, too busy, or not ready? Excuses are the enemy of progress, and they steal your time in ways you don't even realize. Every time you put something off, you're not just delaying action, you're also reinforcing a habit of inaction. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. And while you're making excuses, someone else is out there putting in the work and using their time wisely. Another common trap is undervaluing the small moments. People often think they need huge blocks of time to make progress, but the truth is, it's the small, consistent actions that add up. 10 minutes here, an hour there, it all counts. If you waste the small moments, you're wasting the foundation of your life. The difference between success and failure often comes down to how well you use those little pockets of time. Waiting for the perfect moment to start is just another way to waste time. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The only time you truly have is right now. Using your time wisely doesn't mean you have to be perfect or that you can't enjoy life. It's not about being constantly productive or never taking a break. It's about balance and purpose. It's about recognizing that time is finite and making sure that at the end of the day, you're proud of how you spend it. Whether it's working toward a goal, spending time with loved ones, or simply resting so you can recharge. The key is to be deliberate about your choice. You have the power to decide how you spend your time. And that power comes with responsibility. Responsibility means holding yourself accountable. Nobody is going to manage your time for you. And nobody is going to force you to use it wisely. It's up to you to decide what matters most and to prioritize accordingly. It's up to you to identify the things that are wasting your time and to cut them out of your life. This requires discipline, focus, and a willingness to make sacrifices. But the alternative, wasting your time and living with regret, is far worse. Time is the one thing that levels the playing field. Everyone gets the same 24 hours in a day, no matter who they are. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't often comes down to how they use those hours. Successful people understand that time is their most valuable asset, and they treat it as such. They don't waste it on things that don't matter, and they don't let others dictate how they spend it. They take control of their time and use it to create the life they want. You have the same opportunity no matter where you are in life, no matter how much time you've already wasted. You can start using your time wisely right now. It's never too late to make a change, but the longer you wait, the harder it will be. The choices you make today will determine the course of your future. If you want to live a life of purpose and fulfillment, you have to start by valuing your time and using it intentionally. Your future self will thank you for the decisions you make today. Your actions must match your ambitions. Too many people talk about wanting success, wanting greatness, wanting to live their dreams, but their daily actions tell a completely different story. They talk about building an extraordinary life, yet their effort is ordinary at best. They talk about wanting financial freedom, but they're not putting in the hours or making the sacrifices it takes to get there. There's a disconnect between what they say they want and what they're actually doing. If you want to reach the heights you dream about, your actions must be in perfect alignment with those ambitions. The problem is, a lot of people are stuck in the cycle of wishing and hoping instead of doing. They say they want to achieve greatness, but they keep putting it off. They think about the future, imagining what their life could be like if only they had this or that. But dreaming alone isn't enough. Dreams without action are nothing but fantasies. It's easy to sit around and imagine yourself living a better life. It's much harder to roll up your sleeves and actually do the work it takes to make it happen. Your ambitions mean nothing without consistent, deliberate effort. Every single day, your actions are either moving you closer to your goals or further away from them. There's no neutral ground. Even doing nothing is a choice, and it's a choice that pulls you further from the life you want. If you're serious about your ambitions, you need to evaluate how you're spending your time. Are you putting in the work? Are you making progress? Are you sacrificing comfort for growth? Because if you're not, you're fooling yourself. You can't achieve extraordinary things by putting in minimal effort. You can't build an exceptional life by staying in your comfort zone. Let's talk about consistency. You can't work hard one day and then slack off the next and expect to see results. Success doesn't come from occasional bursts of effort. It comes from showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. It comes from pushing yourself when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you feel like giving up. Ambition without consistency is like a car without fuel. It's not going in. Your ambitions need to be backed by relentless, disciplined action. That's the only way to turn them into reality. Another thing to consider is focus. A lot of people have big ambitions, but they're trying to do too many things at once. They spread themselves too thin, chasing every opportunity that comes their way without ever committing fully to any one thing. If you're not focused, you're not making meaningful progress. You need to be crystal clear about what you want and direct all your energy toward it. That might mean saying no to certain things, cutting out distractions, or prioritizing your goals over everything else. If your actions are scattered, your results will be scattered. If your actions are focused, your results will be focused. Sacrifice is another critical component. If your ambitions are big, your sacrifices need to be big too. You can't have it all. You can't chase your dreams while clinging to every comfort and convenience. Achieving something extraordinary requires giving up the things that are holding you back. That might mean sacrificing time with friends, letting go of certain habits, or putting in extra hours while others are relaxing. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Every successful person you admire had to make sacrifices to get where they are. The question is, are you willing to do the same? One of the biggest challenges people face is discipline. It's not enough to work hard when you feel motivated. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is what keeps you going when the motivation fades. Discipline is what makes you get up early to work on your goals. It's what keeps you focused when distractions try to pull you off course. It's what pushes you to keep going when the results are slow to come. Discipline is the bridge between your ambitions and your achievements, and without it, you're never going to get where you want to go. Another key factor is accountability. It's easy to make excuses when no one is watching. It's easy to convince yourself that it's okay to skip a workout, to put off a project, or to take the easy way out. But if you're serious about your ambitions, you need to hold yourself accountable. You need to be honest with yourself about whether your actions are truly aligned with your goals. Are you giving it your all, or are you cutting corners? Are you pushing yourself to your limits, or are you settling for mediocrity? Accountability is about taking responsibility for your own success. Your mindset also plays a huge role. If you don't believe in your own potential, your actions will reflect that. You'll hold back, hesitate, and second-guess yourself. But when you truly believe in your ability to achieve your ambitions, you'll act with confidence and determination. Your actions will become a reflection of your belief in yourself. That's why it's so important to cultivate a mindset of possibility, to remind yourself every day that you are capable of greatness. When your mind is in the right place, your actions will naturally follow. It's important to remember, they expect instant results, and when they don't see them, they quit. But success is a long game, and you need to be willing to play it. Fear is another thing that holds people back. They're afraid of failing, afraid of looking foolish, afraid of stepping outside their comfort zones. But fear is just an illusion. It's a barrier you create in your own mind. If your actions are dictated by fear, you're never going to achieve your ambitions. You have to be willing to take risks, to face uncertainty, to embrace failure as part of the process. Every successful person has failed at some point. The difference is they didn't let that failure stop them. They use it as a lesson, as fuel to keep going. The truth is, your ambitions don't care about your excuses. They don't care about how tired you are, how busy you are, or how difficult the journey is. Your ambitions demand action. And if you're not willing to put in the work, someone else will. There are countless people out there with the same goals as you. And the ones who are willing to act are the ones who will succeed. The world doesn't reward intentions, it rewards results. And results only come from consistent, focused, disciplined action. So, if you're serious about achieving your ambitions, take a hard look at your actions. Are they aligned with your goals? Are you putting in the effort it takes to succeed? Are you making the sacrifices, staying disciplined, and holding yourself accountable? If the answer is no, it's time to make a change. Because at the end of the day, your actions are the only thing that will turn your ambitions into reality. No one else can do it for you. It's entirely up to you. Discipline now avoids regret later. It's a simple truth that applies to every area of life, yet so many people overlook it, choosing short-term comfort over long-term success. The problem is, the more you avoid discipline, the more you set yourself up for regret. Discipline requires sacrifice. It requires effort. It requires doing things you don't want to do when you don't feel like doing. But what people fail to understand is that the pain of discipline is temporary, while the pain of regret can last a lifetime. Discipline is about making choices today that your future self will thank you for. It's about understanding that the actions you take now will determine the quality of your life later. Regret is a heavy burden to carry, and it often comes from not taking action when you had the chance. It's looking back on missed opportunities, wasted time, and paths not taken. It's the realization that you could have done more, achieved more, or been more, if only you had been willing to embrace discipline. The truth is, regret doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's the result of consistent patterns of inaction, avoidance, and excuses. Every time you choose to skip the hard work, every time you let distractions pull you away from your goals, you're adding to the weight of future regret. Discipline is what allows you to break free from that cycle. It's what separates those who succeed from those who don't. Success isn't about luck or talent. It's about showing up every day and putting in the work even when it's hard. It's about doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. It's the engine that drives progress, and without it, you're just spinning your wheels. Discipline doesn't come naturally to most people. It's something you have to cultivate, practice, and commit to daily. It's a choice you have to make over and over again. One of the biggest challenges with discipline is that it often feels like you're giving up something in the present without immediately seeing the benefits. You sacrifice your comfort, your free time, your energy, and sometimes even your relationships, all for a future outcome that might seem distant or uncertain. But that's the nature of discipline. It's an investment. It's about delaying gratification, knowing that the rewards will come later. It's about understanding that the things worth having don't come easy and that the struggle is part of the process. Discipline requires patience, persistence, and faith in the journey. Regret, on the other hand, comes when you take the easy way out. It's what happens when you prioritize comfort over progress. It's what happens when you let fear, doubt, or laziness dictate your actions. Regret doesn't hit you all at once. It builds slowly over time. It starts as a small voice in the back of your mind, reminding you of the things you could have done but didn't. As the years go by, that voice gets louder, and the weight of regret comes harder to ignore. Regret has a way of creeping into every aspect of your life, affecting your happiness, your relationships, and your sense of purpose. Discipline, on the other hand, is empowering. It gives you control over your life and your future. It's the ability to set a goal and work toward it no matter what obstacles come your way. Discipline teaches you resilience, focus, and self-mastery. It helps you build confidence, because every time you follow through on a commitment to yourself, you prove that you're capable of achieving your goals. Discipline isn't about being perfect, it's about being consistent. It's about showing up even when it's hard and doing your best even when you don't feel like it. There they did good. Stand. The key to developing discipline is to start small. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start by identifying one area where you want to improve and commit to taking consistent action in that area. It might be waking up earlier, exercising regularly, or setting aside time each day to work on your goals. Whatever it is, make a plan and stick to it. The more you practice discipline, the easier it becomes. Over time, it becomes a habit, and those habits form the foundation for long-term success. Discipline isn't something you're born with, it's something you build through effort and practice. Another important aspect of discipline is accountability. It's easy to let yourself off the hook when nobody is watching. It's easy to make excuses, to justify your lack of action, and to convince yourself that it's okay to slack off. But accountability changes that. When you hold yourself accountable, you take responsibility for your actions and their consequences. You stop blaming external factors and start looking at what you can do differently. Accountability forces you to confront the gap between your goals and your actions, and it motivates you to close that gap, whether it's through self-reflection, tracking your progress, or sharing your goals with someone else. Accountability is a powerful tool for building discipline. Discipline also requires a shift in mindset. You have to stop seeing it as something negative, something restrictive, or something that takes away your freedom. Instead, see discipline as an act of self-love. It's about taking care of yourself, your future, and your potential. It's about valuing yourself enough to do what's necessary to create the life you want. Discipline isn't a punishment. It's a gift you give to yourself. It's the key to unlocking your full potential and living a life without regret. One of the most challenging aspects of discipline is staying consistent when you don't see immediate results. It's easy to get discouraged when your hard work doesn't seem to be paying off, but that's where trust in the process comes in. Discipline is about planting seeds and trusting that with time and effort, they will grow. It's about showing up every day and doing the work, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Progress isn't always visible in the moment, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Discipline is about having faith in the journey, even when the destination feels far away. Regret, on the other hand, often comes from a lack of faith in yourself and your ability to achieve your goals. It's what happens when you let fear, doubt, or impatience get in the way. Regret is the result of giving up too soon, of not believing in your potential, and of not trusting the process. It's what happens when you choose the path of least resistance, only to realize later that it wasn't the path you truly wanted to take. Regret is a painful reminder of what could have been if only you had been willing to embrace discipline. Discipline isn't just about achieving external success. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about developing the habits, mindset, and resilience needed to overcome challenges and achieve your goals. It's about living with integrity, staying true to your values, and doing what's right, even when it's hard. Discipline is about taking ownership of your life and your choices. It's about refusing to settle for mediocrity and striving for excellence in everything you do. Discipline is what allows you to look back on your life with pride, knowing that you gave it your all and made the most of every opportunity. Excuses will always be there, opportunities won't. Excuses are the comfort zone of the average. They're the easy way out, the shield we use to protect ourselves from discomfort, effort, or failure. They whisper to us that it's okay to put things off, that we'll start tomorrow, that there's always more time. But life doesn't work that way. While excuses may feel safe in the moment, they rob you of the one thing you can never get back: time. Opportunities don't wait. They come and go, often when you least expect them. And if you're too busy making excuses, you'll miss them. When you lean on excuses, you're giving your power away. You're telling yourself that the circumstances around you are stronger than your ability to rise above them. You're saying that external factors, whether it's lack of time, lack of resources, or lack of motivation, are in control of your life. But that's not true. What's really in control are your choices. You always have a choice to take action or to stand still, to fight for what you want or to let it slip away. Excuses are the stories we tell ourselves to justify inaction, but deep down, we know they're just stories. They're not the truth. Opportunities are fleeting by nature. They don't linger, waiting for you to be ready or for conditions to be perfect. The world doesn't stop spinning because you're still deciding whether or not to act. Opportunities demand urgency. They demand courage. They demand that you step up even when you're scared, uncertain, or unprepared. Most people miss out on opportunities not because they're incapable, but because they hesitate. They wait for the right time, for everything to align perfectly, for all their doubts to disappear. But the right time rarely comes. The truth is, you don't need to be ready. You just need to start. Excuses are seductive. They're easy to fall into because they provide immediate relief from responsibility. They make it feel okay to procrastinate, to avoid discomfort, to stay in your comfort zone. But every excuse you make is a step further from your goals. Every time you let an excuse win, you're building a habit of avoidance. Over time, that habit becomes a mindset, and that mindset becomes your reality. You start to believe that you're not capable, that the odds are stacked against you, that success is for other people. But none of that is true. The only thing standing between you and your goals is the story you're telling yourself. Opportunities are like doors that open briefly and then close. If you're not ready to walk through them, they'll shut, and you'll be left wondering what could have been. The problem is, many people don't even see the doors because they're too focused on their excuses. They're too busy convincing themselves that they're not ready, that they don't have what it takes, that it's not the right time. But opportunities don't care about your excuses. They don't care about how tired you are, how busy you are, or how hard things are for you. They show up, and it's up to you to seize them or let them pass you by. The truth is, excuses are comfortable, but they're also dangerous. They lull you into a false sense of security, making you believe that you have all the time in the world, but you don't. Time is the one resource you can never get back. Every day you spend making excuses is a day you'll never get to relive. And the worst part is, the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to take action. The more you let excuses dictate your life, the more they become a part of who you are. Breaking free from them requires courage, determination, and a willingness to face the uncomfortable truth. Opportunities, on the other hand, are what propel you forward. They're the moments that challenge you, push you, and force you to grow. They're not always easy or convenient, but they're necessary. Opportunities are what separate those who achieve their dreams from those who only talk about them. They're the turning points, the chances to prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. But to take advantage of them, you have to be willing to act, to step outside your comfort zone, to take risks. You have to be willing to let go of your excuses and take responsibility for your life. Excuses are rooted in fear, fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. They're a way of protecting yourself from the possibility of getting hurt. But in protecting yourself, you're also holding yourself back. You're trading potential growth for temporary comfort. You're choosing to stay small instead of taking the chance to become something greater. Fear is natural, but it's not an excuse to do nothing. Fear is a sign that you're stepping into uncharted territory, that you're pushing yourself beyond your limits. And that's exactly where you need to be if you want to grow. Opportunities require faith, but safety is an illusion. The only true safety lies in taking control of your life and your choices. The people who achieve extraordinary things aren't the ones who never feel fear or doubt. They're the ones who feel it and act anyway. They're the ones who understand that excuses are just a barrier to be broken, not a wall to be stopped by. They see opportunities for what they are: fleeting chances to create a better future. They don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect conditions. They don't let excuses hold them back. They act even when it's hard, even when it's scary, even when they're not sure if they'll succeed. And because they act, they grow, they learn, and they achieve. Excuses might feel valid in the moment. You might tell yourself that you're too tired, too busy, or too inexperienced. You might convince yourself that it's not the right time or that the odds are against you. But if you dig deeper, you'll see that most excuses are just a way of avoiding responsibility. They're a way of staying comfortable, of avoiding effort, of protecting yourself from failure. But what's the cost of that comfort? What's the cost of those excuses? The cost is missed opportunities, unfulfilled potential, and a life of regret. Opportunities don't knock twice. They don't wait for you to feel ready or for circumstances to be perfect. They come and go, and if you're not paying attention, you'll miss them. You'll look back one day and realize that the chances you wanted were there all along, but you were too busy making excuses to see them. That realization is one of the most painful things you can experience. It's the weight of knowing that you could have done more, that you could have been more, if only you had been willing to let go of your excuses and take action. So the choice is yours. You can let excuses rule your life, or you can take control. You can wait for opportunities to come to you, or you can go out and create them. You can let fear hold you back, or you can use it as fuel to move forward. The path isn't easy, but it's worth it. The question is, are you willing to take it? Your life reflects your priorities. That's the truth, plain and simple. What you spend your time on, what you dedicate your energy to, and what you consistently focus on are all the things that ultimately define your reality. Whether you're achieving success or feeling stuck, the answer lies in what you've prioritized. The problem is, many people go through life unaware of how their priorities shape their outcomes. They tell themselves they want to accomplish something great, but their actions say otherwise. They say they want to build a better future, but their time and energy are spent on distractions and temporary comforts. What they fail to realize is that every single choice, no matter how small, is a reflection of what truly matters to them. People often claim to value certain things, success, health, happiness, relationships, but when you look at how they spend their time, it paints a different picture. They say they want to excel in their careers, but they spend hours scrolling through social media instead of developing their skills. They say they want to be healthy, but they skip workouts and indulge in unhealthy habits. They say they want meaningful relationships, but they fail to make time for the people they care about. The truth is, it's not enough to say you value something. Your actions have to align with your words. If they don't, it means your priorities are out of balance. Time is the great equalizer. No matter who you are, where you come from, what your circumstances are, you have the same 24 hours in a day as everyone else. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't lies in how they choose to use that time. Successful people prioritize what truly matters. They understand that time is their most valuable resource, and they're intentional about how they spend it. They don't waste it on things that don't align with their goals. They don't let distractions or trivial pursuits steal their focus. They're clear about their priorities, and they structure their lives around them. On the other hand, many people let life happen to them. They drift through their days without a clear sense of direction or purpose. They let other people's priorities dictate their schedules. They spend their time putting out fires, responding to demands, and chasing short-term gratification instead of focusing on what's truly important. Over time, this lack of intentionality leads to frustration, regret, and a sense of unfulfilled potential. The problem isn't that they lack time or ability. It's that they haven't taken control of their priorities. They haven't decided what truly matters to them and aligned their actions accordingly. One of the biggest obstacles to prioritizing what matters is the illusion of busyness. People often equate being busy with being productive, but they're not the same thing. You can fill your days with endless tasks and still not make any real progress toward your goals. Being busy is about activity. Being productive is about results. The key is to focus on the things that truly move the needle, the things that align with your long-term vision and value. That means saying no to distractions, eliminating unnecessary tasks, and being ruthless about how you allocate your time and energy. Another obstacle is the fear of missing out. People are often afraid to prioritize because it means making sacrifices. It means letting go of things that might be enjoyable or rewarding in the short term to focus on what's truly important in the long term. It's not easy to say no to invitations, opportunities, or activities that seem appealing. But the truth is, every yes you give to something unimportant is a no to something that truly matters. Prioritizing means being willing to let go of what's good to make room for what's great. It means being clear about what you want and staying committed to it even when it's hard. Clarity is essential when it comes to priorities. You can't prioritize effectively if you don't know what you want. That's why it's so important to take the time to reflect on your values, your goals, and your vision for your life. What matters most to you? What do you want to achieve? What kind of person do you want to become? The answers to these questions should guide your decisions and actions. They should serve as a compass, helping you navigate the countless choices and distractions you face every day. Without clarity, it's easy to get caught up in the noise and lose sight of what's truly important. Prioritizing also requires discipline. It's not enough to know what matters. You have to be willing to act on it consistently. That means making tough decisions, staying focused, and resisting the temptation to take the easy way out. Discipline is what keeps you on track when motivation fades. It's what helps you push through challenges and setbacks. It's what ensures that your actions align with your priorities, even when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up every day and doing the work even when you don't feel like it. One of the most powerful ways to prioritize effectively is to plan your time. When you don't have a plan, it's easy to get sidetracked or overwhelmed. Planning helps you take control of your schedule and ensure that your time is spent on what truly matters. That might mean creating a daily to-do list, setting specific goals, or blocking out time for focused work. Whatever approach you take, the key is to be intentional about how you use your time. Don't let it slip away on trivial or unimportant activities. Treat your time like the precious resource it is and use it wisely. Another important aspect of prioritizing is learning to let go. You can't do everything, and trying to will only leave you stressed, exhausted, and unfulfilled. Prioritizing means recognizing that some things will have to wait, and that's okay. It means accepting that you can't please everyone or be everything to everyone. It means being willing to delegate, say no, or walk away from things that don't align with your goals. Letting go isn't always easy, but it's necessary if you want to make room for what truly matters. The people who achieve the most in life aren't the ones who try to do it all. They're the ones who focus on what's most important. They understand that success isn't about how much you do, it's about how well you do the things that matter most. They're clear about their priorities, and they're unapologetic about putting them first. They don't let distractions, excuses, or other people's expectations derail them. They stay focused, disciplined, and committed to their vision. And because of that, they're able to achieve extraordinary things. Ultimately, your priorities shape your life. They determine how you spend your time, what you accomplish, and who you become. If you want to change your life, you have to change your priorities. You have to take an honest look at how you're spending your time and ask yourself if it aligns with what you truly value. You have to be willing to make tough decisions, let go of what's holding you back, and focus on what truly matters. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. The quality of your life depends on it.